It says a person is supposed to put the Chanukiyah across the mezuzah, below 10 tfachim, and have wool tzitzit on him. It says, and like this, is bringing Mashiach faster. It says in the tefillah, where in tefillah we pray for Mashiach Bechor? In which section? No. Etzemach David Avdecha Meira Tatzmiach Vekarno Karum Bishuatecha Ki Lishuatecha Kivinu Vetzipinu Kol Hayom Baruch Ata Hashem Matzmiach Keren Yeshua. This is the bracha. We pray for Mashiach to come.
Thank you.
Says the Ben Ish Chai, Et Tzemach, his name Tzemach, the Mashiach's name. It says Tzemach Tzadik Mem Chet. Tzadik Tzitzit Mem Mezuzah Het Chanukah. So that's why it's very important to wear Bechor wool tzitzit during the days of Chanukah, especially. It's easy, it's cold anyway. So during Chanukah, he says you wear the wool tzitzit, you light the menorah across the mezuzah, not where the mezuzah, across the mezuzah, from outside of your house, below 10 tfachim. That's the best location. And he says, whenever a person is lighting this Chanukah in this way, he is asking Hashem, "Vo tzemach," we did. Et tzemach David Avdecha Meira Tatzmiach. Please Hashem, bring the Mashiach Tzidkenu faster in our days.
But if you're in an apartment, you cannot put it outside.
Partners? Apartment. Yeah, what can you do?
So you put it in the
Unless you're in the first floor in an apartment, that people can see it.
No. So you put it on the living room table.
So what can you do? If you cannot, you cannot.
Can you still bring some?
In this case, I used to do both. When I used to live in the apartment in Forest Hills, I used to do both. I used to put one by the window when everybody would see, put another one across the mezuzah. In the one of them is a bracha. Yeah.
But inside your apartment.
Huh?
Inside the apartment.
I have in mind for both.
Inside.
Don't talk between the two, and the bracha went on both. So,
Amir, do it in your apartment. That's it.
I can't hear you. What?
Can you bring some?
You could, yeah.
The rabbi would put the candle that was in the apartment outside the door?
Outside. Across the mezuzah, outside the door. If possible. If they give you a hard time, put it inside the door. What can you do? Behind the door. Across the mezuzah.
I read today that there's no like the next thought to put it outside in the apartment. It's not really anyone's use.
So it depends.
Yeah.
What floor you live. I used to live on the first floor.
That's a lot of people go for.
Yeah. Next to the elevator.
היום אנשים משוגעים.
I used to see it all the time. The people used to see.
Miketz.
Jewish,
So that's what Rabbi Yosef says. In this case, if you have afraid of goyim that say you Jew, you problem,
people
anti-Semitic.
It's very crazy about Jews.
If it's anti-Semitic place, then put inside the house. That's it. Okay, let's Abotai Parashat. Bechol, listen to this. בואו, חגה של ילדים. ויהי מקץ שנתיים ימים, ופרעה חולם, והנה עומד על היאור. After 2 years before are finished, Paro has a dream that is standing על היאור, on the river. Bechor, did you ever say have such a dream that you stand on the river? Says Rashi, על היאור, כל שאר נהרות אינם קרויים יאורים, חוץ מהנילוס. Which one is called the Yeor, the river? Nile River. מפני שכל הארץ עשויים יאורים יאורים בידי אדם. It says all the land of Egypt used to have rivers man-made. Only one river that God made it, not man-made. What was that? נהר נילוס, וכאשר נילוס בתוכם הוא משקיע אותם, לפי שאין גשמים יורדים במצרים תדיר. It says the rain, Bechor, Aaron, does not fall in Egypt. It's a very dry area. So how HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the whole land to have water? Whenever the river, Nile River, gets filled up, it feeds all the small rivers. יפות מראה, he sees those cows were beautiful looking. says Rashi, בנוסף על הבריות הבשר של הפרות הרומזת על הסובה, שבפתרון החלום, הרי שגם יופי מראיהן סימנו לימי סובה, משום שבזמנים של שפע וברכה, הבריות נראות יפות זו לזו. Why the cows was looking good? Besides the fact that they were fat, they also looked good. The cows. That's what Torah says. Torah says, עולות שבע פרות, יפות מראה ובריאות בשר. They have a lot of meat and they're also looking good.
Your food will be beautiful.
Yeah. Why?
Rich.
So Rashi says, whenever there is wealth, there is always beautiful relationship between people. Whenever you are rich, you don't care about, to spend money.
Деньги есть, хорошо выглядит, Игорь.
You shower well, you drive good car, you have you can welcome people in a very generous way, right? So your friend needs money, пожалуйста. You have a lot of money. It says the same thing is whenever the people have a lot of money, it says yefot mar'eh. They all look good to each other. And whenever you're sitting with few people, and you all have to share that oshpalo. Means to say they react good to each other.
они хорошо
Right? You have a lot of money. You don't expect Donald Trump and Elon Musk sitting around one table arguing on a steak. You don't expect that. They have the whole money in the world you want. But whenever there is chas v'shalom poverty, then two people are going to argue over one piece of chicken. So that's to say the cow was fat and looking good, because whenever there is fatness, there is wealth around the people, they look good on each other. You want that steak, take it. I'll order another 10 steaks. I have no problem. I have no money limitation. בדקות בשר, ותאכלנה שתהא כל ימי, סימן שתהא כל שמחת הסבה נשכחה בימי הרעב. It says, then the skinny cows ate the fat cows.
Yes.
And they remain skinny.
Yeah.
How could it be? They're on a diet. They have a fast metabolism.
You mean the skinny cows ate
The skinny cows ate the fat cows, and they remain skinny.
Oh, wow.
So Rashi says, why the Torah tells us this? It says to tell you that so much wealth Egypt would have, the whole world would have. But after the famine, the years that is going to be hungry, after it's going to come, the famine is going to eat all the good days. And nothing going to be remembered. People not going to remember that there was any ever good days. תקוע גאורת גולת בודי. לא עלינו. שתהיה כל שמחת הסבה נשכח בימי הרעב. כדי שעבד זכרם של הפירות השמנות על ידי הכחושות. אמן. Say the brachot slowly, רבותיי. Don't rush. אמן. בריות, שדופות, שתייה, לשון משקוף וחפרות, תמיד על ידי הדלת המקיע עליו קדים, וברוח מצוות קוראים באישה, בריות, והנה חלום. כלומר, זהו החלום לפני שידע פרעה שלא יוסיף לישון עוד. והנה נשלם, הסתייב חלום שלם לפניו, וכיוון שהושלם חלומו, כעת הוא צריך לפותרים שיפרשו לו כוונתו. So it says, after Paro saw the complete dream, it said, and here is the dream, והנה חלום. זהו סוף החלום, לפי שידע פרעה שלא יוסיף לישון עוד. Now, when the dream got completed, at the end of the sleep of Paro, and he got up.
Sleeping, that's it.
He stopped sleeping and got up.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי העץ.
אמן. ותפעם רוחו, ואילו בנבוכדנצר הוא אומר, ותתפעם רוחו. It says there is another king before that had a dream. What was his name? Nebuchadnezzar, מלך בבל.
באותו זמן זה היה?
No, many years later. So it says over there in the book of Daniel, it says, instead of vatipa'em rucho, it says vatitpa'em rucho. Why it says over here, vatipa'em rucho, in Paro? What are the approach? In the Nebuchadnezzar says vatitpa'em rucho.
Sounds the same.
No, תתפעם is תתפעם.
מה זה פירוש הזה?
חמליים שלום עליכם. לפי שהיו שם שתי פעימות.
שתי פעימות?
Here. שתי סיבות לפעימת רוחו. האחת, שכחת החלום עצמו, שלא זכר מה ראה בו. השנית, העלמת פתרונו, שלא ידע על מה החלום רומז. It says, Paro dreamed about the dream and about the meaning of the dream. When he got up, he forgot the meaning of the dream, but the interpretation. But the dream himself he remembered. Nebuchadnezzar, Melech Bavel, he also had a dream. But he woke up in the morning, he says he was worried 2 times. He says, why? He said he remembered that there was a certain dream, but what was the dream and what was the interpretation of the dream? That they told him in the dream, he forgot. So he said, I remember I had a dream. I remember I had an interpretation of the dream. What was the dream? What was the interpretation? It doesn't remember. Until who came before? Daniel. He told him the dream that you dreamed and the interpretation that they told you in the dream. I said, wow, this guy is unbelievable.
Not unbelievable, he's a god.
Huh?
You couldn't believe it.
Da. Daniel.
He's buried in Iran.
Yeah.
תראית העץ במבינה.
חרטומי, נו, אספתי יצר רבו ישי. Does it benefit you or him where he's buried? No, so we'll continue. חרטומי, he needs some kavod to Iran, you know, something.
I was dead.
חרטומי, אלו מכשפים הנחלים בתימי מתים. Why they called חרטומי? It's a...
חרטומים.
נכון. Why the Egyptian people called חרטומים? So Rashi says,
חלדה.
מתחממים, listen, Rashi says, חרטומים, מתחממים בעצמות של מתים.
עצמותיהם.
של מתים. How? מניחים עצם מן המת בבית השחי, they take the bones of the dead people, they put over here, under the armpit, ושואלים בעצמות את העתיד לבוא. Bones, when they were alive, they had warmth, ציפלתה. When they're dead, it has no ציפלתה. What they used to do, they used to take the bones of the dead people and they warm it up as it's a live bone right now. So if it's a live bone knows certain things. The nefesh of the bone is connected to that bone. So how they used to arouse that nefesh?
Warm it up.
They used to take the bone and put it under the armpit. And they used to talk. The nefesh used to tell them certain things about as a dead person, you have no limit. When you're in the body, you limit. Limited. When you're out of the body, you become limitless. Unlimited.
Is this some sort of issue?
Nefesh astayotza.
נפש הסתיוצה, да.
Yeah. The lowest part of the nefesh is in the bones. That's why people go to Rabbi Milubavich's grave. If he's dead, what's the point of going there?
Да, приходишь, ты...
You go to Arizal grave. You go to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai grave. What's the point?
Nefesh stays in the
Nefesh stays in the body. And the bones.
Это называется Havla de Garmi.
Havla de Garmi.
But what about Ruach?
Ruach goes.
Мэр, серьезно у нас все
No.
вопросы
Ruach lives.
серьезные,
Nefesh
спрашивают.
astayotza. Ruach neshama goes.
Авла де гарме.
הרוח это кровь, да?
No. Nefesh. Now he says, Har
לעילוי נשמת גברת.
to me. It says, Har. Hu leshor chimum. It says the word Har in Aramaic, it means getting hot. As it says, Atzmotai kemoked niharu. Har to me.
ניחר.
Har, it's a Har, not in a Har. Vetime, Har, tume. Har, hot. Tume, bones of dead people. So Har tume is the wise people of Egypt. Why they are called Har tume? Because they were warming up the dead people's bones by putting it under the armpit, with this. And that warmth used to attach themselves to that nefesh of the dead person.
Что значит, с градусником мы тоже можем имитировать?
Then you're going to have news of the gradusnik, the chot.
אהרון בן
in the
ישוע.
bone. Nefesh is in the bone. Though.
The nefesh is in the bone. Yeah.
How are you connecting it from?
The nefesh is in the bone. The nefesh needs warmth in order for it to exist, in order for it to talk. So you get like revelations from the nefesh of that dead person,
So they were connected to the ruach of that dead body.
of the nefesh of that dead body. In order for you to connect, you gotta warm that bone.
Квадрат, Моше как взял кости Яхова?
Yosefa.
Как взял?
No, in a box. Torah says it's one in a box.
Он же не делал колдовством, не занимался.
It's in Masechet Sukkah. bechol.
О, написано, что он
Sota is Sukkah is.
Это вышел наверх.
Bring him Sota also was. 13.
Что он таскал по пучине один?
Who, Moshe Rabbeinu? It wasn't Moshe Rabbeinu. El Tzafan did it. Mishael ve'El Tzafan, שעשו פקש לו.
Is this some kishur?
Yeah.
А что написано в Торе, что он взял?
Moshe Rabbeinu took him out. Carried in the desert was his El Tzafan and Mishael El Tzafan.
Кто это был?
There were people, important people there. No, in English. It's in 13b. Okay. בטימא מעצמות בלשון ארמי ובמשנה בית שהוא מלא תמיה מלא בית שהוא מלא עצמות. So see, טומא את bones. Har, it's warmth. Warmth of the bones. After the warmth, the bones start speaking to them, revealing to them certain information.
In what language har tumah means?
In Hebrew. This is in Hebrew and the tumah is in Aramaic.
Har means hot.
Hot, yeah. It's in Tehillim, in chapter 102, in Pasuk 4.
hot?
Hot, yeah, read. Ve'atzmotai, kemoked, moked is the bone of fire, at a very hot fire. Niharu, warmed up. Moked esh, nachon? Omrim moked, זה esh. Whenever you have that pile like this, you have the triangle of fire, that's called moked esh. So, kemoked, niharu. They got warmed up like a moked. So you see that har, what does it mean? Niharu. What does har means? Warmed up. Not in a Bukharian language, yeah? I'm talking about the Torah language. ואין פוטר אותם לפרעה, הדגיש הכתוב שלא פטרו אותם לפרעה, ללמד שאומנם פוטרים היו אותם, חרטום ממצרים וחכמיה. The חרטומים gave answers what the dream means, but it was not לפרעה. Paro said this is not the meaning. It didn't satisfy him. Means to say they did have.
He knew something.
אבל פתרונים לא היו טובים לפרעה, שלא היה קולן של הפותרים נכנס באוזניו. He says, I don't buy your interpretation.
So same, but it was the same interpretation?
No.
Different.
ולא היה לו קורת רוח, שביעות רצון בפתרונם. He didn't like their interpretation. שהיו אומרים לו כגון 7 בנות אתה מוליד, the 7 cows were representing 7 girls, ו7 בנות אתה קורא, and then God forbid, 7 girls are going to be buried. So they compared in the dream cows to the girls. ולא היו נראים לפרעה כפתרונות אמת. And Paro did not like those interpretations.
But these dead people, they could see the reality, so how come they didn't?
This exactly what tells you that it's not always working on the exact and perfect information. That's a person should not connect to this type of powers. It's all darkness. It could have powers, but not always precise powers. Person always have to connect to the Kedusha powers. Kedusha is clean. It's going to make you last longer, your neshama ba'olam hazeh, and also ba'olam haba. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'omen.